of course, INEC has some explanation to make, and of course, we got to talk with the INEC rec in Lagos, and this is what he has to say to some of the questions I posed to him. Let's watch it.
It's going to be treated on case-by-case basis, and by the time we appraise the situation, we'll be able to do what is right. Our intention is not to deprive anybody of the opportunity of collecting at the polling units. We want to ensure that the period that will be adequate for collection at the polling units is given. And so we are going to assess the situation and do what is appropriate. Don't forget that whatever the situation is, I have to still report to the headquarters where a final position will be given. But for now, it is an extension by 1 day on a general note, and on case-by-case basis in some local governments like Mishi, there's going to be further extension to Tuesday. So in the wisdom of the Commission, they feel that the general extension should continue to Tuesday, then that will be communicated to the electorate.
There's been allegations that the Commission has intentions to disenfranchise people in Lagos. Is that true?
Well, it cannot be true. It is far from the truth, for the simple fact that it is not possible for all of us to sleep and face the same direction. Right? So it is not possible for anybody to manipulate the situation to favor anybody. Let me say this, I'm from this geopolitical zone, so why should I be interested in disenfranchising people from my zone? But beyond that, we have said it times without number, that what the Commission is trying to do is that nobody is disenfranchised. And what do I mean? By the time the distribution is concluded, or people see their names on the displayed electronic voters register, it means they have permanent voters cards. And we have said that immediately after the distribution, come Wednesday, there's going to be what we call continuous voters registration. That means we want to capture all those that are not on our database. So even if we are saying we have 4.8 million people on our database, and we are still able to register as many millions as possible, those ones will be incorporated into our database. There's no plan, no intention of anybody in INEC to shortchange any state.
Okay, with all of this that we've seen so far in the process, tell me, has the Commission learned its lessons?
By the grace of God, we will still do our best to give Nigerians the very best. We have learned our lessons. In fact, that is what we are known for. We learn lessons and we factor them into our preparations for subsequent activities. So what has happened, definitely we are going to incorporate the lessons learned into our preparations for future activities.
All right, that is the INEC rec in Lagos, the resident electoral commissioner in Lagos. Just in 1 minute, I'd like the governor to react to what the rec has just said. From your own standpoint and your assessment on the field, what's your take on what the rec has said?
You know, as I said, this is a difficult logistic operations. What can the rec himself do? And you've heard it consistently. All you have heard, headquarters, headquarters, headquarters. So the buck really stops at headquarters. It can only do.
So it appears what these guys are helpless somewhat.
To some extent, you see. And then he says, okay, they have no intention. Nobody can judge. Only the devil, even the devil's intention, you really can't judge it. And in my training as a lawyer, where intention is necessary as a basis for making a decision, you don't begin to read people's minds. You as it were, simply look at what they have done. Okay, let's assume for the sake of the argument that you do not intend to. But when in fact you actually do, what is my recourse? Look, this is another text. Our dear governor, we have waited patiently for INEC officials since Friday, 7th November for the PVC. No one came to our polling station. We voted in front of my house at number 37 Walter Sifre Street, Ifako Bagada, in the past elections, and we expected that this should be a center. Similarly, INEC officials were not seen on this mission nearby. Kindly intervene, Bosun Adekoya. You see, so these are people who are likely to be disenfranchised. It does not matter what your intention is. You owe them a duty to get them. Now, if you look at the way the dates have changed, we announced, based on what INEC told everybody, 20 registration areas in the local governments, 7th, 8th, 9th. Overnight, they say, no, it's not 20 again, it's 11. I didn't sleep the night before because you have distorted the information that we have given to the public. I had to come and do a broadcast at 7 a.m. the following morning. I stayed up all night writing that speech, getting the data, so that people are not misled. Now, if we now do that, then you're now saying, well, out of one of the areas that you said you will do on the, out of the 11, you're now saying, oh, Mushi now. When you begin to distort information, you will misrepresent things to them. And in the event, whether you intend or you did not intend, they will not get done what you want to do. So, you see, this is a mess, an unacceptable mess.
And how should they clear it now?
You know, INEC they have the job. I don't collect salary for INEC. I don't work in INEC. They just must get it right. Citizens must get their cards, and they must be able to participate in elections.
Interesting. Of course, you know that Governor Babatunde Fashola will be having his passing out parade sometimes next year. Well, we'll be talking about some other issues apart from the PVC distribution, Lagos politics, the APC, national politics, so much more. Stay with us. We'll be right back.